friends, new and old, and welcome to the Roast and Toast podcast. We are your hosts, David, Jennie, and Philip, all in person.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello. For the second episode, and final for now, episode that we are doing live in person. We normally wouldn't introduce you this early, my dear, but a friend of the podcast, my girlfriend, Sora, is here.
Hi.
She will be waiting for us for the second portion of the podcast. But hello, welcome to you for anybody watching video-wise.
Just a disclaimer, if you are watching this on YouTube, if we do get this full episode uploaded, which is the goal, we're all wearing Roast and Toast merch.
Yes.
For the last episode, I forgot to mention that I brought my hat, and Jennie didn't have merch, but now she's got merch.
I did not.
Tip your hat, Jennie.
I feel complete now, my ladies.
We all
My
got
ladies.
Roast and Toast merch.
So, Jennie, since last we spoke, just kidding, but what else has happened with you since the last time we have come together?
Well, I opened my current puppet show. We are
Yeah.
now open and running, and we are doing at least 3 to 4 shows a week, and it's been exhausting, but in a wonderful way. It's been wonderful working with everybody in this crew, and every audience so far has been amazing. So I'd recommend buying tickets, but we are unfortunately extremely sold out. So if you
Standing
got
room
tickets,
only.
good job. If you didn't, I'm so sorry. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. David, what about you, my guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say anything that other than what I've already said for the last episode, which we recorded, just now. I'll say we had a very lovely dinner last night all
We
together.
did,
yeah.
We went
Yeah.
to get tacos on the beach,
Some of the best tortillas
fish.
I've ever had.
fish tacos.
Very expensive.
What
All
did
six
you have?
of
I
them.
had a relleno
Yeah.
with lobster and shrimp.
Ooh.
It was quite tasty.
And then we're about to go to breakfast where we're going
Yes.
to pay off not one, but two
Two!
Super Bowl.
Well, actually, technically, okay, so yes, I owe you 2 pancake breakfasts. It would feel very cheap of me to only be like, oh, this one breakfast, it's worth 2, enjoy. So you and me will go
right,
for it
okay.
and do one
This
more.
week we'll pay off 2.
Yes,
Today
2.
we're paying off the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will get you 2 pancake breakfasts. You know what? Even if you want to tomorrow to change it to a waffle, I will allow it.
All right.
All
Is
right.
it one breakfast with 2 pancakes? If you
Yeah.
want to argue nuances?
Yes, if with
Oh,
the nuance
fascinating.
is
Yeah.
my favorite thing to argue. Speaking of which, so this past week I exercised. I wouldn't even say it's a week and a half ago. I exercised with my girlfriend. I usually exercise by my own. I go running or I do something very, very basic, but she has a gym membership that she's been so gracious to share with me. And so I've been going and exercising more specific things. And I did one exercise that bends you over and makes you look all luscious and plump from the backside. You're just laying flat down, ass up. And there's a machine you got to lift it with your hammies, and it looks it's very
I know what
intricate.
you're talking about.
Yeah. It's very intricate.
It's one of the leg curl ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
laying down leg curl. Yeah.
Laying down leg curl and utilizing that machine. I feel like I used muscles I've never used before. I am a different kind of sore. There's sore. There's back-breaking arthritis sore, you can project how you'll feel when you're 60. And then there's this to where I feel like I exercise muscles I have never exercised in my life before.
Interesting.
I have been tight for a week and a half. Now, granted, that could just be me getting old. I'm willing and ready to admit that. But good God, anytime I bend over, I've been trying to yoga stretch my way out of this for a damn week and a half, and it is still
May I
still
suggest a tiger roller to help with that in the meantime?
Ow.
A tiger roller. I'll show it to you. It's like a
Jennie's
I
prepared
have
for
one. I highly recommend
She
it.
didn't know if she wanted to.
This is not a
exercise.
sponsored episode.
That's
No,
why she brought a
not
massive suitcase.
Yeah.
But if you
I
do
do.
want to sponsor us, you can contact us at what's our
Roast-
email?
Roast and it's off of
email.
it's an old
What is
email.
our-
Contact us on our socials. Roast and Toast
we have a
Pod.
link tree.
But it's to explain what it is. It's like a baton thing that you can roll and it works out tight muscles and stuff. It's nice. Would
All right.
recommend it.
Will do. Not a sponsor, but could be coming
Could be,
soon.
yeah.
Make it happen.
game section of the episode. It is my game that I have fully prepared for you three. However, before we do that, we do have a guest here, as we have mentioned in our intro. My lovely girlfriend, friend of the podcast, Sora. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
As I know you very intimately, I don't have any questions for you, but the other two have many questions for you. They are limited to just one. David, Jennie, what are your questions for Sora?
I will start with mine. So we're recording this episode approaching the St. Patrick's Day weekend. So do you have any fun plans for St. Patrick's Day?
I don't think I do, but my lab manager at work is Irish, so she goes really hard with it. So like I ordered a bunch of decorations for work. She usually makes like shepherd's pie. And we're just like, acknowledging her culture, because I feel like black people are really underrepresented. Yeah. So it'll just be fun.
That sounds a good one.
Yeah.
Sora, you mentioned to me yesterday that you've only been on 5 flights in your life or something? No? What did you say then? You said something along those lines.
You said you were taking 5 flights.
No. In your life or something.
No, I've been on
Many.
Well, this ruins my question, kind of.
Oh.
The question kind of was leading to what's the longest one you've been on, and how was the trip?
Definitely Israel. That flight is anywhere from 9 to 12 hours, depending on like the winds or whatever. And I've been to Israel like 10 times or so.
Oh, okay.
So
I completely misunderstood what you said.
that's fine.
How was the trip?
It's
Each
fun.
time,
I have a lot of family out there, and it's always a good time. The 12 hours on the plane is a little excruciating, and the seats are not made for short people, so my neck is always hurting after a long flight. But it's fun, and the
is
food
it a direct flight from?
Yeah, because we're usually fly out of New York, so there's always direct flights from there, which is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, but always a good time.
Well, thank you for that lovely introspective. Well, I have devised a game for us. The Oscars, outdated. We don't need it anymore, because now we have the Phillips. I have for you 5 categories, of which there are 5 nominees in each one, and I'm going to, unlike the Academy, give you the rank from 5th to 1st in those categories. It is up to all 3 of you
we're
to figure out. You are somewhat. It is a soft collab. So, David, since you are my guest here, you're like the main guest of the trip. You are a guest to the United States that I am offering an opening hand to you. You will get to decide who goes first. Trust me, there's a tier to this. It is going to be a complicated game, but trust me when I say, as we go through it, it will make sense. You will be the first to decide who gets each category that I will list for you here, kind of like Jeopardy style, okay?
Sure.
You all have a writing utensil or something with which to write everything down. Okay, David, who do you want to go first on one of these categories, one of the following categories? Best Picture, Best International Feature Food, Best Visual Effect, Best Original Song. One of those 4. Again, we have Best Original Song, Best Visual Effect, Best International Feature Food, or Best Picture. Who do you want to go first on any of those categories?
Can I choose to go first?
You can choose to go first. Which category would you like?
Best Picture.
Best Picture. Okay, so the game is the first person to go will set a list in the order of the 5 nominees that I will give you. The following 2 of you will then go in order, and you will have a chance to move just one nominee of the ranking that the first person goes. So, and then the last person will have, again, one more. Whoever you will then be set with however many points are correct in the list that was given. So, David, for you went Best Picture?
Uh-huh.
The 5 nominees are, and you will want to write this down, are some of the best films of some of the Best Picture, exclusively Best Picture winners of the past.
Okay.
And we will be ranking them in my favorite order. So 5th is worst, 1st is best.
Right.
Okay.
And they are exclusively Best Picture winners. In alphabetical order, Chicago, the 2003 winner for Best Picture. The Departed, the 2007 winner for Best Picture. Everything Everywhere All at Once, the 2023 winner. Slumdog Millionaire is the 2009 winner. 12 Years a Slave is the 2014 winner. So again, we have 5 nominees: Chicago, The Departed, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Slumdog Millionaire, 12 Years a Slave. So David, you will have a chance right now to order that list however you want from 5th to 1st, and 5th being my least favorite out of those, 1st being my most favorite out of those. So you go first, David, whenever you feel comfortable. And the other 2 of you will make sure to write out his list, because you will have a chance to switch up 2 of these in the order that you so choose. Go ahead, David.
Okay.
I'm going to put at the top of the list.
Number 1.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay, that's number 1 for him.
Yes. Then I'm going to go with Slumdog Millionaire, then 12 Years a Slave, then The Departed, and then Chicago. Based on almost nothing.
Someone refresh my memory on what The Departed is.
The Departed is one with Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack Nicholson. It's with Martin Scorsese, directed, crime thriller set in Boston.
Okay.
With Matt Damon. It's a star-studded cast, and yes.
Got it.
Matt Damon's like a rogue cop or something?
Matt Damon is a rogue cop, correct?
Okay.
And Mark Wahlberg is also making an appearance, as well as
It's about Boston
that
Cops.
just makes sense.
Boston Cops,
Boston
yes.
Cops.
A lot of cameos. Okay, so for David's list, we have Everything Everywhere All at Once. And number 1, number 2, Slumdog Millionaire. Number 3, 12 Years a Slave. Number 4, Departed. Number 5, Chicago. Jennie, you're up next. You get to swap 2 nominees in any order you want. So you are limited to the list as he is right now. Jennie, you get to move 2 of them wherever you so choose.
You know what's funny though is that that's the exact order that I would have picked.
No.
You don't have to. You don't have to
Yeah.
move. You can leave it where it is and get the same exact points that David gets.
I choose to move nothing.
You choose to move nothing.
Yes, because that is also the order I would have selected.
Okay. Now, Sora, it falls to you. You get to move in any 2 of these. You get to switch them with each other. Is there any that you want to move?
I feel like Chicago would be higher up the list because you love musicals. Isn't Chicago a musical?
Yes.
Chicago is a musical.
I want to make it like number 3.
So you're going to move 12 Years a Slave with Chicago.
Wait.
Because we're rotating. So
Yeah,
we're-
you
Am
get,
I swapping?
you get to swap.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to do this. Swap Chicago with 12 Years a Slave and then swap The Departed with 12 Years a Slave. So that way...
You only get 1.
a 1 swap. Okay.
1 swap.
All right, then I'm just swapping The Departed in Chicago.
Does that change anything?
Message from our sponsor.
And now
The Tiger Roll.
Makes it
And you moved Departed in Chicago.
Also, I apologize if the microphones pick up my rumbling tummy instead of an eating.
No problem. All right. Enjoy the recording. This is normally what we cut out for the visual one, and what's something that we won't be able to for this one. Okay, so David and Jennie, since both of you kept the same order, together, you 2 got 1 correct in the correct order.
Oh my gosh.
So, Jennie and David, you're on the board for 1. Sora, you moved to the 1. That was the number that they got. So you have 0 correct. The correct order from 5th to 1st. Chicago comes in at number 5. I do enjoy me that movie, but these are 5 movies that I really enjoy, so it's very hard to put them in an order. So Chicago comes in at number 5. Everything Everywhere All at Once, number 4.
What?
I know. I love that film. I loved it for the year, but it's a very tough field. Number 3 comes Slumdog Millionaire. Look, if I'm looking at movies that I want to see time and time again, even on its second viewing, Everything Everywhere All at Once is a bit of a task. Sora has not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I've seen it twice as of recently. I've seen it the original time I watched it, and then 1 time for our recap, and it's taken me a while to get back to where I'm like, okay, I want to watch it again. Slumdog Millionaire, I quite enjoy it. I very much enjoy it, just as a casual fun watch. Number 2, The Departed. I do love me a good Boston accent. I hate the ending, therefore it can't be number 1. But number 1...
If I may, it's The Departed.
The Departed, yeah.
There you go.
You may. 12 Years a Slave, incredibly impactful in my life. I just found it stays with you. I could watch it again. It meets critical, meets favorite film, meets just impactful. It's a very, very deep film for me. So 12 Years a Slave, one of the most important films for me that the Academy has elected to have as a Best Picture. in the past year. So you cannot choose yourself, David, as you have gotten 1 point, and Jennie has also gotten 1 point. You both go forward with 1. You cannot choose yourself, but one of the two ladies has to go first. Why don't you choose Jennie going first for another category? Let's go with Best International Feature Food, Best Visual Effect, or Best Original Song. Which one do you want Jennie to go first on?
Say Best Original Song.
Best Original Song. So I have tasked you all with a homework assignment, which I think you all have accomplished. I just wanted you to all to be familiar with some of the songs, as we cannot play for the audience, and they have the ability to do so. You do not. So these are some of the best original songs that have come in the past and have won. I want you to rank them in my favorite order.
They've won Oscars.
They've won Oscars for Best Original Song. That is a good clarification there, David. Best Original Song in the past. I want you to rank them from 5th to 1st. 1st being my favorite, Jennie. Again, we're going to go in no particular order, as I did not put... oh, yes, I did. I did put these in alphabetical order somewhat. I'm Gonna Love Me Again is the 2020 winner, featuring Elton John and Bernie Taupin. Let It Go is a winner, Idina Menzel, Kristen Anderson Lopez, and Robert Lopez. Shallow, a 2019 winner, featuring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. What Was I Made For is the most recent winner at 2024, Billie Eilish. And Writings on the Wall is the 2016 winner, featuring Sam Smith and Jimmy Napes. Okay. Jennie, you will be setting the tone, setting the field whenever you are comfortable.
All right. Okay, my choices are the following. You want me to start from the top?
Why don't you start with number 1? Yeah.
Okay. I chose for number 1, I'm Gonna Love Me Again. Number 2, Writings on the Wall. Number 3, Shallow. Number 4, What Was I Made For? Number 5, Let It Go.
Sora, you are next. You get to swap any of the two in the order that she put, however you so choose. Again, that order is Love Me Again, Writings on the Wall, number 2, Shallow, number 3, What Was I Made For, number 4, and Let It Go at number 5. Are there any that you want to swap, and which 2 will you swap?
I know you're a Disney girly, but I don't know if Let It Go would top those. I'm going to swap Writing on the Wall with Shallow. So I think Writing on the Wall is number 3, and Shallow is number 2.
So David, your list that you now get to go off of is Love Me Again, Shallow, Writings on the Wall, What Was I Made For, and Let It Go. Are there any in there that you would like to swap?
So I know that I don't think Let It Go would tickle you too much. I know that you're not I know you like some of Billie Eilish, but I don't think you're that crazy about Billie Eilish in general. I despise Sam Smith's music, but you don't. I almost want to swap Shallow back with Writing on the Wall.
I mean,
Jennie
do it.
Jennie and I agree.
You have that power.
I do have that power. I think I'm Gonna Love Me. You do like you some Elton John. I think that's a good pick at the top.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to Jennie's list. So I'm gonna swap Shallow with Writing on the Wall.
I have such a bad feeling. You guys know him longer than I do. I feel like we don't talk about music. We talk about like existence.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
as couples do.
Yeah.
So, in a rare turn of events, Jennie and David, yet again,
Really?
have copied each other.
I might have made a couple other swaps if there were multiple swaps to make, but
Right.
since I can only do one, that was the one that...
Yes. So, Jennie and David have the same list, yet again, meaning that their point total is the same, which was 1 point on the correct order. And
Okay.
Sora, you also get a point.
Oh, yay.
You all have sniffed out the correct order of Let It Go. It is on number 5. I only picked it to be just since it's a well-known
We're doing
song.
on being in tune with Philip's dislikes.
Yes. The correct order from 5th to 1st, Let It Go, of course, number 5. Number 4, Shallow. I think it's somewhat overplayed now. It had a good long life, but now number 4. Number 3 is very close top number 3. What Was I Made For is number 3. I like Billie. I don't like Billie Eilish's debut album, but since she's kind of gotten into a more singer mindset. I've quite grown up to enjoy her. Number 2, I'm Gonna Love Me Again is number 2, and that was a very tough decision, which means my fave, my super big fave, David's super big fave as well, Sam Smith's Writing on the Wall. I love that song. I absolutely adore that song. Oh my God, I love it. So that means that the updated scores, Jennie and David having the same list twice has made them tied at 2 points apiece. Sora, you only have 1, but that is still within spitting distance, and you are going to be setting the list here. Very important. So, David, which list does she get to set it out? We have left Best Visual Effect or Best International Feature Food.
Are we only doing 3?
Well, you're doing 3, and then each of you will have a unique list here on the last one.
All right, let's do best. Let's have Sora do Best Visual Effect.
Best Visual Effect. Sora, you get to start out.
Is food an actual category?
No.
Oh,
Best
okay.
International Feature
Okay.
Film is the. I was the only one that was like, I don't want to really separate it. So, here we go. Best Visual Effect. This, of course, as you know, as the Academy does this, women who have the best visual effect on film. So, Sora, you are not on this list, but you will be number 1. But besides you, the list in alphabetical order. I did make this alphabetical. Florence Pugh, Jessica Alba.
Florence
Pugh. Jessica Alba is number 2. Scarlett Johansson is our 3rd nominee. Selma Hayek is our 4th nominee. And Sydney Sweeney, friend of the podcast.
Number 1 more time, please.
Yeah, one more time. We have Florence Pugh, Jessica Alba, Scarlett Johansson, Selma Hayek, and Sydney Sweeney. All worthy contenders and nominees in the Best Visual Effect, women who have the best effect on film.
You know, before you started listing this, I thought this was actual visual effects. And I'm like, I did not know Florence Pugh did visual effects.
Also had
She
that
is
same
so
thought.
talented.
Selma Hayek.
Oh.
And the last one was what?
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah,
The double S.
Sydney Sweeney.
Sora, whenever you are.
Scarlett Johansson. Can I go on?
Go from first to last. if you
Okay,
may.
first. Oh, okay. First is.
If I had known that this was this, I would have picked this. I feel like I would do well with this.
Yeah.
It's between Florence Pugh and Jessica Alba for number 1. All right, I'm going with Florence Pugh because I feel like she's more current. So that's number 1. Jessica Alba is number 2. Sydney Sweeney, number 3. Salma Hayek, number 4. Scarlett Johansson, number 5.
So I have Sydney Sweeney at number 3. Who was number 4?
Salma Hayek.
And number 5.
Scarlett Johansson. Because I've never heard you talk about her.
Okay, so Sora's list is Florence Pugh, Jessica Alba, Sydney Sweeney, Selma Hayek, and Scarlett Johansson. David, you are next. You only get to swap 2.
David is so confident in this category.
Yeah.
I'm not. I can only make 1 swap. I would make a couple, I think.
Oh.
But the only thing I know that I should do is put Sydney Sweeney at the top. So I'm going to swap Sydney Sweeney with Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh.
Jennie, that leaves you. You only get 1 swap. Now, per tradition, do you want to stick with David's list? Or?
No, we're going to switch it up.
Oh,
Okay, she's breaking the tradition. All right.
What do you know?
Selma Hayek seems too low on the list. So I'm going to swap Florence and Selma. So now Selma Hayek is 3.
Okay.
And Florence Pugh is 4.
All right. Well, you guys have not chosen the same list.
No.
Yet. All 3 of you have the same single point correct.
Really?
Which means that something that was not moved was in its correct place. And that would be Jessica Alba at number 2. Jessica Alba was a strong number 2.
Yes.
We did take in these rankings that each actress's career is a rich tapestry. And you have to incorporate history when it comes into that. Jessica Alba has been a strong contender from day 1, and God bless her.
Selma Hayek's number 1, isn't she?
Selma Hayek is indeed number 1.
What?
Jessica Alba is number 2. Selma Hayek, my God. Again, if you're taking into history, my God, that woman has aged so well. Scarlett Johansson at number 3. Sydney
Really?
Sweeney at number 4, which means Florence Pugh.
Shocking.
Florence Pugh comes in number 5. Again, all these women, worthy contenders, worthy nominees. But
You know, the thing is that you could have 4 out of the 5 women in the right order, but then 1 out of place and you get all 5 wrong.
Right.
With this game.
Interesting.
But weirdly enough, none of you moved one to where, and either made a difference because you all were stuck in the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll talk to the judge.
Yeah.
Well, that leaves Best International Feature Food for all 3 of you in this specific category. All 3 of you will get all 5 nominees and be able to put them in any list you want, in any order you want, with no swapping necessary. And it is important as all 2 of you are tied, and Sora is only 1 point away because Jennie has 3 points, David has 3 points, and Sora has 2. So, Best International Feature Food means I will be giving you 5 nominees of international foods, and you have to put them in my ranking order of favorite to least favorite.
This coming from the man who orders flour tortillas at an amazing Mexican
Yep.
restaurant, so
In-
this is going to be tough.
In alphabetical order, we're looking at crepes. Number 2, fish and chips. Number 3, shepherd's pie. Number 4, spaghetti and meatballs. And number 5, bringing a little flair to the field, quesadilla. One more time, crepes, fish and chips, shepherd's pie, spaghetti and meatballs, quesadilla. Weirdly enough, I think Sora will be the favorite in this particular field,
Probably.
as she has eaten more with me than either of you have, actually. So we'll go with her last, and we'll go with Jennie first, David second. So, Jennie, whenever you are ready, put in your field.
This is the hardest contest by far.
It is. It should be noted that since we are all in person, I can see what everybody's done. Jennie not only has written hers out very beautifully, she also has it categorized. She has written down Best International
I'm a very
Feature Food.
organized
I love it.
person.
I love it. I never get to see this type of organization. Oh, you have that too, David? Okay.
Yeah, he also has a list.
You get an acknowledgement as well. Even though your acknowledgement also comes with a disacknowledgement, you have no case on your phones. A fact I had not known for quite some time. If this has been the case, and the lack of case since I've ever known you, then I just know. It disgusts me. It scares me.
This phone is 3.5 years old and it's still intact.
It's still intact. It actively scares me each and every time I am aware of it. So, no worries.
God, this is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
While we are waiting, let's get some confidence. Sora, are you done? Are you done with your list? Or are you still waiting?
I don't know. I made a list and now I'm just rethinking my whole life. Too much
We're
introspection.
questioning existence.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
just,
David, how confident are you in your list?
Not very.
Not very. I was 20.
Are these all foods that you do enjoy? Or
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, trust me, I didn't put any like fish eyes in here for that very reason. I didn't want to create an obvious one.
I feel like you would eat fish eyes before you eat mustard, though.
I would actually very much try fish eyes far
My mom
Far
loves
sooner.
fish eyes.
than I would. I've heard good things about fish eyes. I try it. I don't necessarily want to try it, but given the choice between mustard or fish eyes, I would much rather.
What about fish eyes or mayonnaise?
Fish eyes. I would much rather. I'm very much a protein person. Like if I can find a protein that I enjoy.
Plenty of protein.
It's plenty of protein. I don't know. It icks. It gives me the ick, as the kids say.
It often does have mustard in it. So
Yeah.
I find it so funny that mustard is the thing.
God.
Mustard is lovely.
I'll give you a story while we're still
I do
waiting.
like mustard, but I understand why it's the thing because it has such a strong flavor. Things that have strong flavors have the potential to be like good or like really hit you bad.
Mm.
So mustard kind of has that going for it.
I was on the precipice of throwing up at work the other day. I ordered a hamburger, plain as I normally do, and I microwaved.
Are you ready to tell the story emotionally?
I know. It came through.
Okay, I remember the story and it was.
And I microwaved because I didn't order cheese for whatever reason. Our cafeteria at work charges like $1.50 for cheese, which in like normal prices is fine, but for like our work prices, everything's really cheap. So that happens to be like the most expensive thing. And so, anyways, I go from the salad bar
Is
and
it authentic cheese? Like
Yeah.
Or is it American cheese?
Well, I mean, it's like whatever cheese you want. It can be provolone, whatever from the deli, whatever.
European.
Anyways, so I go to the salad bar and I get the cheese from the salad bar and microwave it. So I microwaved it all. I took a bite. I was like, this little, and then I took a second bite. I was like, they put on like a Thousand Island dressing, which first of all was not wanted anyways. But then second of all, heated up, I wanted to die. I wanted to actively throw up in the middle of my workspace.
I don't know about microwave, but
yeah, exactly.
Island is lovely.
Yeah, no. It was
That's a huge part of the appeal of In-N-Out. And you love In-N-Out, but you don't get any of the amazing things about, like, you don't get the Thousand Island, you don't get grilled onions.
Yeah.
Like, yours is just a patty and cheese.
Maybe he just wants to be like a normal person.
And lettuce.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, it was violent. Okay, Jenny, it looks like you are done. Is everybody else done? Everybody else have their list set?
I do.
Okay.
I'm going with my original list.
Okay, yes.
I would like to say once again, this was quite difficult. But
This was challenging.
from best to worst.
From best to worst.
Number 1, quesadilla.
Okay.
2, spaghetti and meatballs. 3, fish and chips. 4, shepherd's pie. 5, crepes.
David, you're up next.
Jenny and I align on the first one, quesadilla.
As you have in the past.
Yes. Second one also, spaghetti and meatballs.
Okay.
And here we differ. I put crepes at 3. Fish and chips at 4. I was with you when you first had you first had British
fish and
authentic
chips.
British fish and chips. And then shepherd's pie didn't seem like something that you would like at all to me because, at least made properly, shepherd's pie has more ingredients than most of your food. Normally.
You're a simple man.
That's why I put crepes at
Simple.
5. There's too much involved in a crepe, and that's why it's at number 5. Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
I was torn on that one because I know you do love a good waffle. So I know you like sweet stuff.
I can hear him saying those are very different than crepes.
So shepherd's pie comes in at 5. I'm surprised to learn that you like this. It's got onions and tomato or tomato. I don't even know, but
and
ground beef
And shepherds in there, authentic shepherds in there. Yeah.
potato, cheese,
Any protein, any shepherd protein.
all of your food is basically
The
carbs
finest of
and
sugars.
protein.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of veg going on here.
Yeah. All right, Sora, you're last, and you are the favorite, so you
Okay.
should do well in this.
I put crepes at number 5. You're not a sweet breakfast person. You're a savory breakfast person. And again, there's too much in a crepe. I don't think you would like that. Shepherd's pie number 4, fish and chips at number 3, quesadilla at number 2, and spaghetti at number 1. I feel like you're a real Italian pasta guy. And then we had spaghetti earlier this week, and you were just so happy. So I don't know, thinking spaghetti. But you do love your quesadilla eras.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm so nervous. I'm sweating over here.
Oh my gosh. Another thing we don't get to see in person.
There's like 12 years
Yeah.
of friendship on the line right now. I'm trying to put these together, these lists. It's tested.
Well, you guys did better than I did. Something you don't get to see over, video is how nervous David gets. He's literally shaking. Yeah. You don't get to see that his feet are twitching and shaking, and he just doesn't do well under pressure. So you only see the top half of him over video.
Well, in a fascinating turn of events, David got nothing right.
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing right.
Wow.
Which, if you have a similar list, you can see where you land. But Jenny, you have 1 right, which means that Sora did indeed come through on her promise of being the favorite here.
Interesting. Okay.
She is the favorite, and she got 2 correct.
Oh.
She got 2 correct, meaning
Tie.
we have a tie at the top. David falls back. The actual list, in case you were wondering,
Very much.
I am interested.
number 5 are crepes. Not a big fan. They're a little too thin for me. I need more. Need more of a base for my breakfast.
Yeah.
So that's where you 2 ladies got a correct one in there. Number 4, spaghetti and meatballs.
What?
I've had too many bad spaghetti and meatballs that are just watery, that really ruin spaghetti and meatballs for me. So I need a good, authentic one, and it's very hard to come by, at
I
least in
understand that
Arizona.
argument. It's
So-
pretty hit or miss.
So it's like
What
low.
about bolognese.
No. So next one would be
All the same ingredients.
Yeah, I don't like I don't like the main one. I don't like the. Wait, is that the sauce? Oh no, wait. Is bolognese with the sausage?
No, bolognese. It's
Oh, just the sauce.
Yeah, it's the sauce with ground beef, but it's not together.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry.
I'll make you a good one.
Okay, good. No, yeah, we've had dinner. That was the first dinner you made for me.
No, but it wasn't bolognese. It was a different sauce.
Oh, different sauce. Your dinners are very good, I will admit. Number 3, shepherd's pie. But this is my mother's shepherd's pie. It's a very plain shepherd's pie, as you might have guessed. It's with mashed potatoes, ground beef, and corn and cheese. That's it. So I would accredit my mother to that one on a shepherd's pie. It's not an authentic one, nor why I ate one in all of our time in Ireland. It was a little too authentic and organic for me. Number 2.
Too much shepherd, not enough pie.
Number 2, which Sora would understand, is a quesadilla. Yes, indeed. Quesadilla is an old-time favorite, but it cannot go any higher than number 2, making it number 1, fish and chips. I will enjoy myself a good fish and chips, especially for the Renaissance Festival. That was a splendid discovery this year, that the fish and chips is actually quite good.
Was the fish and chips better there than it was in England?
No, the fish and chips are better in England, but of course there's like a more authentic beer batter there and everything else. But it's very actually hard to mess up fish and chips for me. Like even a bad fish and chips, like I've gotten used to
No, I can't have a bad fish and chips. It's horrible.
And then the fries can either just be like normal or can really.
I think you mean the chips.
The chips.
The chips. Excuse me. How dare I? Dare I? So yes, meaning that ladies, we have a tie, and I did indeed bring a tiebreaker here for the both of you.
Oh, tiebreaker.
And the tiebreaker is of a different thing, which I think actually David would possibly. Yes, it is actually going to be of a different nature, and it is first to buzz in with their name, and the other person will then get a chance to answer. If neither one of you are correct, then we go back and forth until one of you can get it correctly. Okay?
Interesting.
First to buzz in using your name. Name is your buzzer. On March 10th, 2024, the 96th edition of the Oscars was presented, which means what was the first year of the Oscars?
Can I use my phone?
No.
Sora. 1918.
Wrong. Jenny, go ahead.
1928.
Wrong. Back to Sora.
1908.
Wrong. Back to Jenny.
1938.
Wrong.
What?
Back to Sora.
1917?
Is that a correct official answer?
I have nothing to lose. We both suck at math.
Yeah.
Wrong. Back to Jenny.
1927.
Incorrect. Back to Sora.
1936.
Incorrect. Jenny.
1929.
There we go. That is the.
Oh my god.
May 16th,
We said 2020, didn't we?
Yeah, May. Well, I don't know what we. Well, also you got to think that you're looking at a year. I think the first one of the years that they went for.
So what was it?
It's
the 96 in 2024, which means the 101st will be in 2029.
Yeah.
Which means minus 100 would be the first, which would be 1929.
1929. Yes, I was like, I actually think David would have gotten this on.
House.
Yeah, cleaned house.
I would probably guess 1928 first, and then.
Yeah, and then
realized my mistake.
Yeah.
My parents both have degrees in math, and I'm so glad they don't know what a podcast is.
So that means, David, you have lost this game. Jenny pulls ahead with a win, and Sora, thank you for playing.
Yeah. Always a pleasure. I love you guys.
Academy.
But no, thank you. Did you guys enjoy the game, the Phillips, the first annual
Yes.
Phillips?
I was
Yes.
very entertained by it.
Yes.
Thank you for crafting that game.
Of course, thank you, and thank you, Sora. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Oh, I guess we're doing this since it's a visual podcast this time. I normally put in the answers and the game log as we go through, and Jenny got 94.5. Okay, so here we go. With that win, Jenny pulls up to a record of 8-16, while David dips down to a record of 14-9. Thank God we needed him to have a loss. And I stay still at 8-14.
Ooh, that slaps. Here we go. First, that slaps that we've done with the three of us in person. My That Slaps is a song that I played in the car last night. It's called Tether, and it's by a band called Sleep State. Quite enjoyed it. Slaps. Go check it out.
Ooh, never. This is going to be a side note that I guess will now have to be in the podcast. Make sure you download the That Slaps podcast, the That Slaps Spotify playlist.
So that we can listen.
So that way we can listen to it in the car.
I'm going to do that right now.
Yes.
Go check it out. That Slaps by Roast and Toast on Spotify if you want to listen to the most random playlist you will ever encounter.
As soon as you get into one groove, the next song will hit you hard. All right, Jenny, you're next.
My That Slaps this week is also a song. I discovered a new up-and-coming band from Melbourne. They're called Glass Beams. I'm pretty sure they're all of Indian descent, the trio. And they released a single recently called Mahal, Mahal. It's very Bollywood-inspired, and I will say it 100% slaps. Mahal by Glass Beams. Check it out.
Also discovered upon the rest of us upon hanging out for such an extended period of time, we found out that Jenny not only uses That Slaps, she uses That Slaps, the phrase,
I do.
in her day-to-day vocabulary. So
I do too sometimes.
Yeah, every once in a while. But Jenny was
Where do you
just.
think it came from?
No, it was timely at the time, but now it's
yes,
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
The podcast hosts and guests can confirm I do use That Slaps
On the
a
day-to-day
regular
basis.
Mhm.
Yes. So my That Slaps is a movie this week, and I venture to guess we will be reviewing this at some point. It is Dune Part 2. I'm sure that in a year's time we will be reviewing it. It will be sweeping, and it is my favorite for Best Picture of the Year. It is my personal favorite thus far in the year, early as it is. I mean, usually my favorite will differ from what I can acknowledge as the Best Picture of the Year in a historical context, let alone critically. Dune Part 2, incredible. I'll probably save the majority of my comments for when we do the movie review, but Dune Part 2, that slaps.
When are you doing the movie review?
Unfortunately, that is our time, and as the wolf howls, that marks the end of our episode. But we do have a few thank yous to get to. First of all, David.
Thank you to Cass and Crossland and Jay Corlang for the music you hear on this show.
Thank you to you, Sora. Thank you very much for joining us for the game episode. We appreciate it. But also thank you to Ryan Ardell and Josh Hans for a lot of the audio bits you hear throughout the entirety of the show.
Thank you to Rudy Chalk for all of your wonderful graphics you designed for us that you can see on all of our social medias.
And thank you to you, the listener. Yes, you listening and watching right now. We appreciate it very much. Of course, if you have not already done so, please go back and subscribe to our channel, whether it be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Again, if you're watching YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us right now on this account. And really anywhere that you listen to all of your favorite podcasts, except for Pandora. You know why? Because screw you, Pandora.
Yes, as we make our way through Roast and Toast Zoo, we come upon the bear exhibit. This is our bear. Her name is Florence. Oh my goodness. Yes, we're going to see Florence poo.